Xana deserved more. They all did. I'm a fighter, just like Xana. And you don't get to control how I move forward.
Evil does not deserve our time and attention. We are done being victims. We are taking back our lives.
My sister Kaylee and her best friend Maddie were not yours to take. They were not yours to study, to stalk, or to silence.
Family and friends of the 4 murdered University of Idaho students came face to face with their loved one's killer in court yesterday. Bryan Kohberger was formally sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms in prison for the 2022 murders. He pleaded guilty earlier this month as part of a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. And last night, police released hundreds of documents about the investigation, revealing details from the night of the murders. CBS News correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti joins us from Boise now. Jonathan, you were in the courtroom as those impact statements were being read. What did it feel like to be there that we can't see just from watching the clips?
Yeah, Errol, what we heard from parents was the shattered hope that their children would live better lives than them. I was there, I watched as parent after parent, family member after family member addressed directly Bryan Kohberger for the first time, looking him in the eyes as they told him what he robbed from them. It was a spectrum of grief, everything from tears to anger, even forgiveness. Ben Mogan, the father of Madison Mogan, he opened up saying he struggled with addiction, saying that Maddie was the only good thing he did in his life. We heard from Maddie's stepfather saying he's an ordinary person that lived an extraordinary life because of Maddie. It was incredibly cathartic for these families, but also so deeply emotional. And what was so clear from all of this, the life sentence that they themselves are now living through, all the while struggling to comprehend what unfolded and why Bryan Kohberger carried out these murders, something he did not address once as he remained emotionless in that courtroom for more than 2 hours of those emotional statements.
And that was remarkable, Jonathan. He chose not to say anything. He showed no emotion. The families have no idea why he committed these murders. So what's inside these new documents that were just released? Does it provide any clues?
Those were released late last night by the Moscow Police Department. They do not define a specific motive, but perhaps they shed some light. We're talking very graphic details from the crime scene. Investigators saying that one of the victims was stabbed more than 50 times. It speaks perhaps to a crime of passion, though others that we have spoken with say it's an act of an animal. I spoke with a police chief who actually interviewed Bryan Kohberger for a job. This was months before these crimes were carried out. It was for an administrative job at a local police department. The police chief, though, telling me that Kohberger was more interested in getting into the mind of a criminal. The police chief telling me he believes the motive could be as chillingly haunting as Kohberger trying to get away with the perfect crime, Errol.
Yeah, it's even creepy just seeing his eyes in these images, knowing what he has admitted to doing. What do these families do now?
That's a great question. They come together. We saw that firsthand in this room, divided by good and evil. The families acknowledging that through this tragedy, they were brought together. I think it's going to be, though, a very long road ahead. I spoke about the forgiveness. Specifically, one of the family members, the aunt of Xana Kernodle, when she addressed Bryan Kohberger, she said, "I forgive you." But speaking to how hard it is to comprehend this crime, she then offered her phone number to him, saying at a later date, she would like to talk to him about what happened that night. The trauma, Errol, will persist for a long time, if not forever.
Remarkable. Jonathan Vigliotti, as you say, these relatives now have their own life sentence. We appreciate your reporting. Thanks so much.